everybody. Welcome back to Sarah's Table. Tonight, I am very excited to have a team of folk on who have created a brand new game that is currently kickstarting. It is called Psychic Trash Detectives, which I don't know. I just feel like all three of those words separately describe different parts of my personality. So I'm very excited that we have this here tonight. My name is Sarah Moore. My pronouns are she, her. I'm going to be your game master and your host and your favorite person. I'm going to remind you to drink some water because I guarantee if you are watching this that you are probably dehydrated. Just going to take a second. Delightful. All right, let's talk about this game. Psychic Trash Detectives is by Scryptid Games. And like I said earlier, it is currently kickstarting. And if you take a look over in the chat, there's going to be a link there so that you can go buy it. Go tell them that you want to buy it eventually when it is already out. The little tagline for this game is a TTRPG about psychic trash animals solving mysteries and finding community in a world of discarded beings and objects. I can't wait to chat at the end about where the impetus for this game came from, but I'm afraid if I ask now that we will never get to gameplay because we're just going to start going off on tangents, which will be delightful, but we're gonna save it. You have to watch the play first, then you get to hear all about it. I'm gonna do a quick safety discussion. As you know, for people who watch the show, safety is really important to me, and I think it is important as a responsible game master and player at a table and human being to know where everybody's lines and veils are. The ultimate goal of playing a game is to create a story together. And I think in order to do that, people need to be vulnerable, which means you need to make sure that you are treating everybody with respect. So here on Sarah's Table, you will never find sexual violence, violence against children, withholding food as punishment, or starvation. There's actually a safety mechanic built into Psychic Trash Detectives, which we are going to go through during the world build and character build creation. But I do want you all to know, if you are watching this, that this is has potential, from what I understand, to be a little bit heavier, maybe. Am I right with that?
It depends on what the folks are feeling. So it's a conversation that we kind of like make that decision together.
Cool. All right, great. Well, we will make a note, but as usual, we are going to keep all of our language PG-13. So there will be no language issue if you want to bring your younger ones out to watch this one. All right. Well, I think I've talked enough about me. Let's go around the table. And could you please tell me who you are and what you did on this game? I'm going to start with Tiffany.
I'm Tiffany Salter. I'm one of the Scryptids. I'm part of Scryptid Games. And my pronouns are she, her. And I am... we've all kind of had a little bit of hand in everything. The writer is Brigitte Winter, who isn't with us tonight. I am going to be doing the layout for the now fully written game. So the game is happening. So we have had a really successful start to our funds, to our Kickstarter, and we're going to move forward with laying it out and getting it ready for everybody.
Awesome. I'm going to hop over to Deirdre.
Hi, I'm Deidre. My pronouns are she, they, and it could be they as in I am 30 birds in a trench coat, literally, who could say. I actually have not been directly involved in the creation of this game. I'm the faithful sidekick. I'm just really excited about a playtest. I've been friends with some of the creators for a long time, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this rolls.
Awesome. I'm really excited about the idea of you being 30 birds in a trench coat.
So 30 to 40, depends on the birds.
That's fair. Great. Dustin?
Hi there. My name is Dustin Patrick Winter. Pronouns are he, him. I'm also one of the Scryptids. I did art direction on this. We all wear a lot of hats, so to not to go too deep into how we came to be or anything, but we started off as a workshop, so writing, gaming, and so we were all just giving each other feedback on things, and so we kind of continued to do that. And so we're like a little creative collaborative unit. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. We had such a great start to the Kickstarter, and I'm sure we'll talk lots and lots about that later. But it's just been really great to be part of this and to see where we are now.
Cool. Round us out, Cody.
I'm Cody Bahn. My pronouns are they, them. I am also first-time playtester. I heard about this game a few months ago from Brigitte and got really excited about the idea of being a little trash animal and touching trash. Here I am.
I have to tell you that because I knew that I was going to have you on the show, everyone, for this game, I have been telling people that this is going to be the next thing that I'm playing. And every time I say it, everyone goes, just like stopped in their tracks, pure delight on their face. I think perhaps that is a commentary on the kind of people that I surround myself with, who that everyone is like, yes, I get trash together. Yes, this is perfect. But I feel like this is going to have heavy rotation in gameplay. So let's dive in. Let's build our world. There's a note that says this is a game about finding beauty and meaning in discarded objects and cherishing things that others have rejected. So the first thing we're going to do is transform a real memory of rejection into an imagined piece of trash that will spark psychic visions for your characters later in the game. Take a moment, think about when you felt rejected or discarded. We're not supposed to be sharing these memories with one another just yet. So, take a second, write down this thing. Remember that it's important to create from scars, not scabs. So if it's too fresh, please do not pick at it. Pick something a little bit, but so many trains. It's the trains have come for us, everyone. Take a little, go back a little bit deeper. Let's not open any wounds here tonight. And make sure that you write it down, get yourself ready in it. And then what is going to happen with these memories is you are going to transform it, taking that experience, and you're turning it into a literal piece of trash. Now, there would be, if we were all in one space, there would be a literal trash can full of actual trash. And everyone would take a piece from it and write a description of what this piece of trash that they have created is. It is as incredibly specific as you want. What purpose did it once serve? What does it look like, smell like, feel like? How big is it? Don't just say it is a banana peel. Describe the rotting banana peel as black, slimy on the inside. What it smells like, a mix between a bouquet of lilies and a dirty diaper. Which is a terrible description, but very evocative. Very, very evocative. Was that a Brigitte nugget? Because well done, Brigitte. I know exactly what that smells like. Gross. And when you have written your trash description, crumple up that scrap so no one else can read it. We're getting into some stuff. And when it is all crumpled up, I'm gonna throw it into your trash can. And use that moment to think about throwing away the feeling of being discarded. And now you have released it, and it has become something else. Your discarded pain is now the magic at the center of this game, which I feel like that little sentence is really the very core of what we're doing here. You have created psychic trash. Feels kind of liberating.
Yeah, I wrote mine down in this copy of the New Yorker that I've been like cannibalizing slowly.
Excellent.
I want to.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, it felt so good.
Tear it out of there. Squish it up. All right. So the first thing that we're going to decide after we've done this is where the story is going to take place. How are we all feeling? Is it urban? Is it rural? Do we want to do a real place, a made-up place? What do you think?
I have good feelings about urban because, I mean, there's nothing against rural, but I feel like urban has a good deal of potential obstacles that could also lean toward either drama or comedy.
Yes. All right. That's a good one. Everybody feel good about urban?
Into it.
Okay. So there is a list. I love a list. Love a list. You map your setting and create your obstacles. Now, generally, there's a timer element in this, but because there is some Zoom delay and we are far apart and everybody's seeing this for the first time, well, not everyone, but some of us are playing this for the first time, I'm going to sort of be pretty loose on that 5-minute timer situation. But there are some location prompts. There are 25 of them. There are 4 of you. You are supposed to pick your favorite prompt. You're going to read it aloud. You're going to claim it before anybody else does. And then we are going to make it a location on the map. If we were all in the same place, the map would be a giant piece of paper in the middle of the table, and we would be all scribbling on it, which just sounds delightful. And I'm very excited to do it in person at some point. But we're gonna create this map sort of each of us in our own space as we together work on it.
One of the things that I think is kind of cool about it, doing it this way, is that I know that everyone is going to draw this a little bit differently. And so I really want to see everybody's maps at the end.
Yeah.
Can I call dibs on a location?
Please.
I would love 18, a location built for human children.
Oh, okay. And what is that location?
I am picturing a rundown jungle gym playground, like the one I played on in the mid-90s, which was made from wood. Sometimes bees were nesting in this wood, so
Absolutely.
it was kind of, a little bit life or death. The slides were all metal in the hot, burning sun.
So hot.
So if you went down them in shorts, it was regrettable.
You didn't really go down them in shorts. Part of you stayed up at that top.
Yeah. So just like wood and metal and things that are decidedly unsafe, but for some reason this community has not funded a plastic upgrade. This is a rundown old wooden playground.
Okay. And if you were looking at the map, north, south, east, west, where approximately?
Let's put it in the far east.
Far east.
Little green space in the far east of whatever map we end up on.
Great. I'm going to have everybody claim their space first, and then we'll go back because we're going to do obstacles for each of them. But let's claim our 4 spots before we do the obstacles.
Can
Okay.
I call dibs on the second one?
Yeah.
All right. I would love 14, a location you can smell from anywhere in town.
Whoa. This could go many ways.
I'll claim a location that's hard to access. Number 20.
Okay.
And the one that pops out to me is the highest point in town, number 10.
Okay. All right, so let's go back to drawing our to drawing it. Cody, what is the location that you can smell from
I was thinking
anywhere
of
in
it being a donut shop.
Ooh. Okay. And where
just
in
because
town?
So not super deep south, but like towards town center.
Okay.
But definitely on the southern like area of it.
Donut shop. Does it have a name, this donut shop?
I don't know. Can we workshop a name really quick?
Absolutely.
All right. I have no ideas.
Okay, good. So do we want it to be animal related because of the theme of the game, or do we want to like stray away from that? Is it very human?
I know part of the game is like it's human and animal cultures mixed.
Okay.
So I was thinking of a human donut shop for sure, but obviously if you can smell the donuts anywhere in town,
There's definitely going to be.
There's definitely some either trash or free animals roaming around.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They all like to think that they're better than us, but you know,
definitely not though. What do we think about naming it something like very colloquial, like the gathering spot?
I could be down with this.
I can just like see the big giant donut that they have.
That's what I drew. I drew like a giant donut sign on top. I was like, obviously it has to have like the donut, like there is in whatever, like LA.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The donut is the O in spot, obviously. Right?
Oh yeah, donut spot. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. And the place that is hard to access.
So I'm thinking in the far north of the bounds of what we're working with, a water tower, the top of the water tower.
Top of the water tower. Okay.
My God, I was going to say top of the water tower for the highest place in town, so I'm going to go back and pick another one.
Oh, sorry.
I love we're like synced up. That's so great.
Tiffany, what part of town do you say it was in?
The far north bounds of the town. Or of our map.
I feel like everyone's gonna have really pretty maps, but I'm not like the best drawer. So I just have little squares and a compass.
Mine are mostly words. My water tower looks a little bit like a UFO that is trying to abduct something.
I think that's all water towers actually naturally look like that.
Then I feel like I'm doing an okay job.
Not to start some new conspiracy, but they're obviously modeled off of something.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
It
all right.
Really
so, Dustin.
Yes. Oh, yes. The highest point in town. Okay, well, if it's not a water tower, then it is. Oh no. The highest point in town is a pizza place on top of this big hill.
Oh.
It's like, yeah. I don't know why they would build a pizza place up there, but they did.
But they did.
They did. And maybe it was a different building at one point in time, and now it is a pizza place. And so for people, for humans, they like to go to the pizza place and sit because it's got like windows and they can like look out and they can look down on the town. And then, the trash animal version of that is just, we like to sit on the dumpster and look out on everything.
And where in town is that located?
We're going to say that is... We're going to say that it is west.
West. Big Hill Pizza Place. What is the name of your pizza place?
Oh, it's going to be Pie in the Sky.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Pie in the Sky.
I did immediately think of a really goofy reason why somebody would put a pizza place on the top of a hill, which is all their delivery drivers only have bikes and they have a 30 minutes and less policy. So they just shoot everybody
zoom
down the hill.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep. Yeah, it's canon. And then you just see like everyone like slowly walking their bike back
up.
Like the delivery drivers who just got hired are trying to go up in first, and they get like 30 feet into it, and they're like, nope.
I feel like they must have a whole fleet because it's so much easier to send them out than it is to get them back up.
Or what?
High turnover.
Yeah.
They need one of those like sky gondolas.
Yes.
The specialized that just like you put your bike on a rack and
it brings.
Yeah, it's just
like a ski lift.
Yeah. But it's like one seat and a bike rack.
Oh, have you seen those in some of those grocery stores where you like put your cart on and it just like it takes it up to like an upper level and then you ride an escalator next to it? Have you seen these?
Yes.
They have them at Wegmans.
That's the only place I've ever seen them, is that one Wegmans.
They have them at IKEA as well.
Huh.
The Target by my house has one.
Yeah.
I've seen them there too, yeah.
We don't have those in Maine. I don't know. I've never seen.
That's all right. Okay, so we have our 4 locations. We have named them. We have placed them on the map. I am also very interested to see how different our maps are, because they've all just been sort of like, it's north side, south-ish. So it's going to be an interesting sort of situation. And then we are going to, on 3 individual pieces of scrap paper, brainstorm 3 different obstacles that a trash animal may experience in your location. An obstacle is an encounter, a story event, or a physical object that can interfere with the character's progress and prevent them from reaching their goals in a scene. So, which of these would we like to brainstorm first?
So I think that the way that it is supposed to work is everyone for their location.
For the one that you identified.
For the one that you identified, yeah. I think that you're supposed to come up with 2 of them. And I think that you're supposed to come up with them on your own and then
flip them over.
Yeah. And flip them over and they will be there.
And so the third is group from the group?
No, it's just
come up with 2, and when we're in it, we pick 2 of them.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's 3 and they're all secret.
All secret. We're gonna have secrets. Everybody, enjoy your secrets. While you're having your secrets, I'm gonna drink some more water. We're tearing up some trash. Don't need a lot of supplies for this. Use the stuff that's going to go into your recycle bin. I'm going to read some obstacles that are example obstacles while everybody is coming up with theirs. So the example given in the book is the Zappaloosa video arcade. And the obstacles could be a child mistaking one of you for a domestic cat, picks you up and pets you roughly while yelling kitty kitty at the top of their lungs. The second one could be the power goes out very suddenly and the building goes pitch black and quiet. Or one of you gets stuck to the sticky film on the top of a pinball machine. Gross. So this list of 25, while they're going, 25 different locations, there are a couple that I think are also very interesting that we have passed over. But a safe place for trash animals to hide is one that is noted, which I think is very cool. And then on the flip side, a human gathering place where, you know, so you have sort of the extremes on either side. There's also somewhere spooky and a place buzzing with psychic energy. Also good. I can absolutely see prepping for this game being something where everyone is sort of trying to decide whether or not they're going to throw a thing away. Should I keep this for the game? Is it too gross to keep for the game?
How much time do I have left before the game?
Right. How much, like, if we're playing tonight, I can maybe keep this, but like it might get kind of gross. If it's like, is game not until next week? This is probably not a good thing for me to keep right now. And, you know, there is a note in there of like, use some good judgment. Like, you don't have to do the stuff that's in the compost heap. You are going to be touching it. You're going to be handling it. Let's be smart. Be safe. Be smart.
7-day-old banana peel is probably not your best option.
Not, but like
7-day might work, but day 8.
No, day 8.
That's not a banana peel anymore.
Hard cut off.
But like, if you eat a banana right before game starts, maybe. Or is that too fresh? Is it too sticky at that point?
Oh no, I did that. I did that exact same thing last time we played, and then like just like put it on my shoulder while I was playing, but then regretted that.
Yeah, I bet it looked great though.
It did. It
was very in character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then you also did have a banana peel on your shoulder for a couple hours. It's fine. We're all just little psychic trash detectives. Sometimes you got to have stuff.
You want to make a psychic trash detective omelet, you gotta break some rotten eggs.
You gotta peel a few bananas. I believe that is the exact idiom.
It is now.
It is now. Everybody take notes. How did we feel? Did we get our 3? Everybody got their 3?
Yep. Big
thumbs up all around. All right. So just assume that is when that timer went off. And everybody has put down their writing utensils. So I would like you to take another moment and introduce your location in a more in-depth way. And each player gets to add a detail to each place. I'm going to make Deidre go first.
Oh, great. I have to name something now. This needs to be Memorial Park. So this is I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it next week.
Look at you.
Melody Kearns Memorial Playground. So the Melody Kearns Memorial Playground is located on the far east side of town on what was once a soccer field that just kind of was not kept up with. There was sort of playground ringing it. The soccer field has gone to weeds. The playground is really the only thing left, other than maybe a rusty goalpost, somewhere in the distance. It is a playground made of wood that is very splintery and metal that gets very hot in the sun almost any season of the year. There are a couple of trash cans located around. There's one bench with like a little armrest so you can't actually lay down on it. It's very awkward. It's a 2-person bench. And there are some trees kind of scattered around it where maybe birds and squirrels might live.
Great. Dustin, what would you like to add to Melody Kern's Memorial Playground?
I was going to say that in the center of the playground, underneath of the sort of like jungle gym or whatever it is, that is wooden and gives everyone splinters, there is a tire swing, one of those like, those tire swing with like the chains that you would get on and like spin around as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on a little contraption that lets you spin around as much as you want. And it smells really bad under there because kids spin around, they throw up.
Yeah. Gross.
Nice.
Cody, what would you like to add to the playground?
Close to the big wooden structure, I would like to add a metal merry-go-round that is also incredibly hot, but underneath it, burrowing animals have turned it into like a little home.
Yep.
On the psychic wavelengths, that is actually exactly what I was going to say. So instead, I will say that there is a broken teeter-totter, I guess seesaw. I don't know what y'all called them where you're from, but
either works. Yep.
Broken teeter-totter that like the plank has kind of been tossed off to the side, and there are a couple of mice living underneath that plank of the teeter-totter.
Okay. All right. Let's head over to the donut shop.
Oops, that's me. Okay.
That's you.
Yeah, we have the Gathering Spot Donut Shop with a giant sign outside. The O, obviously, as Dustin recommended, is a donut. It's a very small shop with like maybe 2 booths on the inside, and a dumpster that is larger than the whole shop should have. And yeah, I think that's all I got.
All right. Tiffany, what would you like to add?
I think that the Gathering Spot has like it was originally not meant to be a big like indoor seating kind of place. So there are a couple of tables inside, but because it became the Gathering Spot, like in truth, there are a bunch of picnic tables around and trash cans to gather the trash to receive the trash from anyone who's sitting outside at the picnic tables.
Cool. And Dustin, what are we adding to this?
So I think what we'll add to this is the giant donut out front. The owner of this particular shop has promised multiple times that this really will be the last time that donut rolls into town and destroys something. The donut is indestructible. It's like made out of like sheet metal or something. But this has happened multiple times, and they've had to put it back up there. And I will say that it is rumored in some trash animal channels that the dislodging of the donut is the work of a group of angry possums.
I do love the idea of like a street gang of possums. Just like
In their little leather jackets.
Snapping.
Yeah.
And, like,
I mean, it's
dancing.
they're definitely singing something for sure. And then just like releasing the giant O of the donut onto the town.
The Possum Fosse Posse.
Oh no. It's perfect.
Yes. I think we just made a children's show.
I think we just did.
I'm here for it.
Let's start talking to Netflix. I think there could be options.
Yeah, hey, call us. No pressure, but like we're obviously all creative geniuses. So,
TM.
Deidre, you haven't added to this one yet.
No, so I'm not going to touch the giant O because that is clearly not a stable place to make a home. But
No.
in some of the dips, the gathering spot is a light up sign. And as happens with signs that are lit up, they are warm in colder months. So birds tend to make their nests there. So in like the dips of the G's and like the bottom part of the S, there are like pigeon nests and sparrow nests, little birds making nests. And there are definitely little white lines dripping down from where the nests are, from where the birds have just kind of left their mark from where they've been living.
All right. Let's hop on over to the pie in the sky.
Okay, so as I said before, Pie in the Sky is a pizza place on top of this tall hill, and God only knows why they put it up there. There is a road that goes there, so if you're in a car, you really got to gun it, but you can get up to the top of the hill there, and it is. Let's say that, most animals don't really know who owns the place. They don't take a whole lot of notice of humans' comings and goings, but they do know Gustavo. And Gustavo is the large and angry pizza chef, chain smoking outside at the back of this place. And he just doesn't like animals.
Oh, no. I was hoping for a Lady and the Tramp moment, but like definitely not Lady and the Tramp moment.
Look, this could be like a redemptive arc for Gustavo.
Oh, I'm interested to know, like, is the pizza any good here? Or is it just that their novelty is that they're on the top of this hill? Like,
Or are they the only pizza game in town? That's it.
They're the only pizza game in town, and a food critic once described the pizza as pure garbage.
oh no. Ooh. Wow. Okay. I think that was Ego from Ratatouille. Put it all
Was
together.
the food critic a trash animal?
In disguise?
And was this a 5-star review?
Was it?
Actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this a dig?
Was it
Or
like
is this-
three
Huh.
possums on top of each other in a tiny trench coat? And they were like, this is garbage. And they meant it really well. Like, this is the best.
It could have been the Possum Fosse Fosse.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yes.
Who had taught themselves to walk like a human in a trench coat.
They're having quite the arc. We haven't even gotten into it yet. And already.
I don't know if they're allies or nemesis, but I'm so happy.
Yeah, this is still world building.
I mean, reluctant friends to or enemies to friends could be friends to enemies. Maybe you all were part of this posse and they kicked you out. Sorry, I'm getting ahead
Oh,
of
we couldn't
myself.
keep time. Oh no.
Yeah.
Our snaps were always just a
Sorry, there are too many tenors, so out you go.
Your kickball change leaves something to be desired. You gotta go.
All right. Cody, I'm going to tap you first. What are we adding to the pie in the sky?
feel like there's so much to add, but the dumpster that animals like to sit on, I'm going to add that it has wheels, and occasionally naughty animals kind of just give it a little push while others may be sitting on top of it, enjoying their night view. And then maybe they go rolling down the hill.
Oh no. The old dumpster roll. Terrible. Sounds like a rite of passage.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
Like
the
you have
animals
to
could
like
just be.
go push them down.
They could just also be trying to knock it over to get
So they
some
could eat?
food, and then it
And
just takes off.
it just keeps going. All right. Deidre, what are we adding here?
So I would like to add a foil to Gustavo. The newest employee at the Pie in the Sky is Claire, who works the fry station. So like mozzarella sticks, French fries, jalapeno poppers. They all come straight out of the freezer and go straight into the fryer. They're not.
Sure.
She's not cooking.
Right.
She's just frying things.
Just heating.
She's just warming things up with boiling oil. Don't
Uh-huh.
worry about it. But she has a soft spot for animals. So when there's like extra fries or things that are burnt but still edible, and Gustavo's not around, she'll leave little snackies out for the pigeons or the raccoons.
Hmm. We like Claire. Claire's a delight,
But if Gustavo catches her, it's not a good time.
I bet. Tiffany, what do you think?
Okay, so after the bad/good review, they did see a dip in their customer base. And so as a ploy to attract people back, they partitioned off a part of their rather large dining room for a small dais, like a small raised stage, so that the local like teens would have some place to like have shows. And so on the weekends, Fridays and Saturday nights, you can usually find some teenage garage bands playing there.
Oh, yes.
So even better trash on those days.
Lots of good discarded cigarette butts, I'm sure.
Oh, I bet. There's
Clothes.
got to be like a local band that plays there most often.
Mhm. Like it's Gustavo's like nephew or something.
Love the
who-
nepotism. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What sort of, I assume they are a cover band of some kind. Like, what do you think they cover?
Nickelback or something.
Oh, no. All right. Nickelback cover bands.
I never thought I'd have such a visceral reaction, but okay.
What is the name of the Nickelback cover? I just have to know. What are we calling them?
The Dime Front? I don't know.
Oh, beautiful.
Bless.
Terrible, but beautiful. All right. We're going to head over to our last location, the top of the water tower.
This is the water tower isn't really in use anymore. Municipal water supplies having changed over the past couple of decades. And so it hasn't really been maintained, but nobody has taken the initiative to tear it down either. So that means that like, you know, usually at the top, there's like a scaffolding that you can like walk around. But since no humans have been up there in a long time, this has become like prime nesting space for any animals who care to either fly or climb up there. And, you know, just a super kind of rusted with paint chipping off of it, in general disrepair, an eyesore to the humans in the community, but a haven for the animals, I think.
What color did it start as?
Oh, like seafoam green.
Oh, no. That can go real bad.
Yeah. So now it's kind of like it's like you can't tell if it's like a patina, you know, like that green patina, or if it's the seafoam green of the original paint. with like pops of rust coming through.
All right. Deidre, what are you adding to this? Beautiful. thing.
So it's kind of fallen out of upkeep, but at some point a year or two ago, some like solar punk youth of the town were growing a little container garden up on the scaffolding. So there's lots of pots that have like some overgrown with weeds, but like there's some herbs and there's some tomatoes and there's like morning glories that like wrap their vines around part of the scaffolding where it's rusted.
Cool. And I'm assuming there was also weed.
Oh, yeah, like the entire like back 2/3 like that doesn't face the town is all weed.
Definitely. Great.
And then there's like some herbs and vegetables and flowers to like cover
like other stuff too.
Like honeysuckle has a lovely smell, so maybe, just maybe, it'll outdo the skunk. It does not.
Yeah, no one will. People don't come up here anyway, you know.
Cops don't climb ladders. Don't worry about it.
Not a problem. All right, Cody, what are you adding to this?
So in one of the legs to the water tower, I am imagining that it's kind of rusted like a small hole near the top. And at some point, a squirrel figured out that it's just the right size to put acorns in. And nobody knows how many acorns the squirrel has put in there. But they've been up to it for a while. So
it's a whole acorn leg. The whole thing. Perfect.
So, yeah, I can't wait to talk with this squirrel to find out if they actually have a plan for getting the acorns.
What acorns?
I want to talk about it. What are you talking about? Find your own place to hide your acorns.
Never seen an acorn in my life.
Don't even know what an acorn is.
Who is that?
Tell me more about these acorns.
All right, Dustin, what are we adding to it?
So, most water towers, that when I think of water towers, I always think about like driving past them. They always like say something. We don't have a name for this place yet, do we?
We have not named it.
Can we call it just Hillsville? Because it sounds like things roll around in Hillsville.
There's a lot of rolling here. It's very rolly.
So I think that it says in, this faded paint that's all flaking off, welcome to Hillsville. Yeah.
What color was the paint in contrast to the seafoam green water tower?
What's the...
And pull up the color wheel in your mind. Find the opposite.
Well, no, I was thinking like something that is like the same shade. Like it's really hard to actually see how it's kind of like one of those magic eye things. It kind of gives you a headache to look at it for too long.
No.
It's just like a weird like light pastel blue or something. It's hard to tell what it says actually.
Like the exact same saturation as the seafoam green.
Oh, yeah. That would be so hard. Just like definitely I'm interested to see what the local youths have turned it into, the ones that went up there and planted all of the garden. Because that they scratched out letters or like continued things so that it doesn't say Hillsville anymore.
Does it say Hellsville?
Oh, welcome to Hellsville. Like just
add little lines on the eye to try to make it look a skinny little E.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of like at night. It's really spooky up there, and I don't know about you all, but one time I heard that there was a raccoon who went up there. He never came down.
I heard that too.
And his ghost haunts the place still.
Yeah, sometimes you can hear screeching from up there. Not really sure what it is.
And hear grabby hands pawing at the metal, but when you go to take a look, no one's there.
No one's there. Ooh.
His chains rattle in the leg of the
train. Chains. My goodness. I feel like we maybe made a raccoon version of Jacob Marley just now.
The chains we forge in life are the ones that we actually stole from the tire swing at the playground and dragged them
all the way up. Yeah. Thanks for all getting that reference. I appreciate you. Sometimes I make references and I just get blank stares back and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? So let's take a minute. It is time to reveal the trash that you collected for this game, the real trash. Normally we would turn over our one big trash can and dump its contents onto the map that we have made together. But we are all separate, so everybody has their own pieces of trash from their own bucket, and you are each going to gather exactly 3 pieces of trash that inspire you.
I don't have a bag of trash on the floor. What are you talking about?
I would never judge you that way.
I would never.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine?
This is fine.
This is all normal stuff. Deidre is just dipping out of frame and coming back with trash. And it's from a magic place. No problem. Does everybody have their 3 pieces of trash? Yes. All right. And then you are also supposed to grab 1 psychic trash scrap created by another player. Your description is going to be revealed during psychic visions later in the game during gameplay. And so what I think we should do, in order to determine that is, I'm going to have each of you, I know this is a diceless game, but I'm going to have you roll a D4. Is that possible? And I will assign a number to each of you, and then you'll know whose psychic trash you have picked up, but you will not know what it is until we need to reveal it. So, Tiffany, go ahead and roll for me. Oh. Tiffany rolls out of view.
I rolled digital dice. I feel lacking.
And rolls back in.
Okay. D4. 1.
Okay. You have grabbed Deidre's.
Okay.
Deidre, go ahead and roll for me.
Let's see. D4. I also rolled a 1.
Okay. I'm gonna with counting. Then you have grabbed Dustin's. Dustin, it's your turn. He's done. He's gone. Dustin is gonna roll his whole body, just like the O from the donut shop, down into the town. However many things he destroys is the number that he got.
Well, that does sound like a thing I would do. I got 3.
A 3 puts you at Cody, just counting, which means that Cody, you got Tiffany's. It just happened that everybody just stepped 1 over. It was just a step to the left.
I have Cody's trash.
Everybody just makes a little note. I have Cody's trash. These are all normal notes.
I think I wrote it down right. Now I'm concerned.
These look no different than my normal notes for any tabletop role-playing game, so...
So I have a terrible memory, so I take copious notes. So anytime we get into the next session, I usually play bi-weekly games. And people are like, what happened? And I'm like, I got you.
I know everything that's happening.
It's not written in any semblance of like reasonable organization, but it's all here.
I tend to do the opposite, and I just tweet the funny things that happen during the game. Usually they are unrelated quotes out of context. And then at the beginning of the next session, I read them out. And generally we all laugh a lot, but they do not help. They do not help us know what happened. Like, I mean, it helps bring joy to the table, which is a thing that I very much want to happen. But like in the like the idea of, well, if I read these to you, everyone will remember the big important points of the game. Not so much. Whoops. Whoops. Maybe. I don't know.
Oops, all quotes.
Oops, all quotes. So the next thing that we would be doing would be creating our trash detective, but we have been going for about an hour, and I think this is an excellent time for us to do a bio break. So friends at home, go ahead and grab yourself something to eat. I mean, we've talked about donuts, we've talked about pizza, we have talked about a lot of things that probably should not be consumed by humans, but I will not judge you if that is what you want to do. So go grab yourself something to drink, something to eat, use the restroom, and then come on back. Bye. Welcome back from the break. I walked out of the room and was handed a giant bowl of mac and cheese. And so essentially, it's the best day ever. Beep, 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 beep. We just built our town, Hillsville, which I'm going to say it seems to have a lot of problems, just in general. Doesn't seem like it has a real big, thriving economy. It seems fairly run down in a lot of places, at least the places that we are checking out. I don't know. Maybe the rest of the town is like state of the art, brand new, fresh. Doesn't feel like that to me, but the places we have chosen to highlight, maybe not a place that you'd want to like walk without shoes on. Just it's a good thing to know. And the next thing that we are going to do is everyone's going to pick a trash animal to play that will inhabit the setting you've all just created together. Please remember that any animal can be a trash animal if you can make a case for why they are living within a human neighborhood and eating and collecting trash, which feels to me like any animal can be a trash animal if they just believe in themselves.
We're all trash animals in our hearts.
Be the trash animal you want to see in the world. So, you can all select different animals. You could be a group of the same kind of animals. You could be Dustin's cat 4 times over. So,
too much fae.
Yeah, it's all fae all the time. So what are we thinking? There is a list of examples. I'm happy to read them should you need that. But if anybody is already feeling something, like, let me know.
I very much want to be a trash bird of some kind. This is, but that's a wide variety.
Sure.
Could be seagull,
So
could be a pigeon, could be a crow.
Pigeon, yeah, could be crow. There's magpies on the list as well.
And I think that you could probably, if you have an idea for an animal that's not on here, Deej, if you have a very specific bird in mind.
Yeah.
Are
you a big bird or a little bird?
Probably crow or smaller.
Okay.
Like American crows are not that big. I'm not going raven because they're huge.
Okay.
But like American crow, big fat city pigeon, probably not a seagull. Crow or pigeon.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to you. You ruminate on whether you feel sort of gray or black, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about anybody else?
I am from Texas, so I feel like it's an obligation to be an armadillo. So I have already in my head just settled on armadillo.
Okay.
I am also from Texas, and the water tower that I described, I used to live across the street from in a small town called Lamesa in West Texas. But I want to be... Oh, go ahead.
I'm also from a small town, and I thought you were describing the water tower in my small town. So they're just everywhere.
Then we found out they were from the same small town.
Same town. They're the same person. What is happening?
So I'm inspired by a squirrel that used to live outside of, I used to live very near the campus of the school I was at for grad school. And there was this squirrel that had a partially stripped tail, like it had gotten caught in a door or whatever. So it was like fluffy at the bottom and like
like a rat tail at the end.
Over 2/3 is like a rat tail. And it used to sit on a post in the on the fence between like my apartment building and the next apartment building over and eat things like pizza crusts and that sort of thing. So I'm playing that specific squirrel.
Living his best life. I have to tell you that anytime squirrels come up, which wildly is more than 0 times zero stable. Like it just keeps coming up. But everybody has this wild, when I was in college, there was this
Yeah.
squirrel. Everybody has one. And you can just start that sentence and everyone's like, I can fill in the rest of that detail because I have one of those. It's wild. Dustin, what sort of animal are you?
So, because it's an option, because we haven't done it yet, I want to be a bear.
I want to be a bear.
I want to be a big old bear.
Are you a black bear? Are you a brown bear?
Black bears are generally non-aggressive to humans.
Yeah, I think like a black bear. Yeah.
Love it. All right, Deidre, did you decide on crow or pigeon?
I decided on crow.
Crow.
American crow.
We love a good crow. They have the best funky little strut.
Yeah.
The next thing we are going to do is pick 1 or 2 words to inspire the kind of psychic detective that you are. So there is a list, but as always, you can choose your own. Spooky, tenderhearted, reluctant, lucky, hard-boiled, messy, bumbling, skeptical, celebrity, lazy, opportunistic, overachiever, rule follower, quaint, charming, whatever other word you can possibly think of.
I'm going to go with, for my American crow, tender-hearted. And like either quaint or nostalgic, kind of that vibe.
Tender-hearted and nostalgic.
Mm-hmm. Like your favorite auntie, but a crow.
My squirrel, whose name is Jerome Robbins, because I remembered as soon as I made the Fosse joke that it wasn't Fosse who choreographed West Side Story. So my squirrel named Jerome Robbins is a lucky, and because he is so lucky, he's a celebrity. So it's kind of hard not to be a celebrity with a rat tail as a squirrel.
Agreed. Cody or Dustin, either of you ready with your adjectives?
I'm ready.
Okay, go.
My armadillo is a spooky, skeptical armadillo.
Spooky and skeptical. In my brain, I'm referring to you as the armadillo of obligation because of how you introduced it, which sounds like a cover band of something.
Or like, I don't know, like a charm that you would get in a D&D game.
The armadillo of obligation?
Like a mystic item of some sort.
Oh my gosh.
Like
yes.
if you fulfill your god's calling, you get a bonus of some kind. Armor. You get extra armor.
Armor. It seems like it would be a cursed item, though, because of obligation. Like, I mean, I think if you wear it too long, maybe you get leprosy, because that's a thing that armadillos can give humans as well. Science. Anyway, Dustin, tell us about your bear. What are his 2?
It was tough because everybody picked some really good ones. I think that this bear is, I'm going to pick my own here. Genial, like kind of friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? You know,
yeah.
Like, not like a yogi bear, but like the kind of bear that if you were going to run into a bear, like a bar, this would be like, he would be like nice guy, you know?
You were in a bar and there was a bear.
Yeah, exactly. You
got it.
A bear and bar.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to DC, so
it's fair.
Into that bar. Yeah.
So you are not the star of the upcoming movie Cocaine Bear.
No. Is
No.
there
Hey, that was a friendly bear until he got on the cocaine.
Until he was on the cocaine. It's
Yeah, the bear
really,
was
it's
fine.
the dangers of drugs. It's a cautionary tale.
there are huge swaths of pop culture that I just miss.
Miss it? Cocaine
You're
Bear.
probably okay sitting this one out, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I'm gonna watch this. It's based off of a true story.
it is based on
That's the scariest part, honestly.
bananas.
Well,
Genial.
I would say like, yeah, genial. And I think like if this bear has been like, I think his like cocaine days like maybe behind him. He's quiet.
Has he
like-
gotten into the weed at the top of the water
Oh yeah, is he
tower?
just like super chill?
Like I would actually probably classify him as like more like Midwestern, just like in outlook, like kind of like a maybe like the kind of the way that people describe Iggy Pop when you meet Iggy Pop like off stage.
Expand, please?
I'm gonna roll with that. Oh, like they would just
Having never met Iggy Pop off stage, please tell me.
that he just has this sort of like Midwestern charm. Like you think of Iggy Pop as this shirtless, crazed punk rock icon, and then you meet him backstage and he's like, oh hey man, how's it going? Yeah, me and the guys, we're gonna head back to the house. You want to come with us? Like he's just like supposedly a very nice person.
Can I call him down to earth / Midwestern?
Yeah, I would say that.
He says "ope" a lot. Oh,
Oh.
just gonna squeeze right through there.
Whoop.
Yep, we're gonna have to put some touch-up paint on that one.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
my
yeah.
mistake. You don't
Oh,
get him
yeah.
talking because it takes him forever to leave when he's saying goodbye. 25 minutes later, still standing at the door.
We'll describe him. Yeah.
So now we've picked our animal, and you know what sort of psychic detective that you are. So we need names and pronouns for each of you, and to identify your grossest trait. Let's start with the squirrel because we already know his name is Jerome Robbins.
Yep. He, him, Jerome Robbins.
Okay.
Grossest trait. I would I would say, okay, he collects like discarded gum from sidewalks
Oh,
and like puts it on his rat tail because he misses the fluff.
All right.
You're welcome for that imagery.
Boy.
Yeah.
I didn't know where that was going when I started the sentence, but here we are.
Woof.
I'm glad to have gone on that journey with you. All right. How about our armadillo? What is his name? Her name? Their name?
Oh, Cody, you are muted.
Oh, you are muted. Come back, Cody.
My bad.
We did.
All right. Their name is Scritch's Cat Star.
Mm-hmm.
They go by they, them. And their grossest trait is they only bathe on leap years
Oh,
because their personal psychic told them it was bad luck not to.
so implying that they wouldn't have bathed at all.
Yeah.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Is
this
it
is an
a
improvement.
leap year right
Yeah,
now?
this is
Just
an
out of
improvement.
curiosity.
I guess
Are
that's
we-
for the group to
are we
decide.
in a leap year. How
Maybe it
far
was
from a
last
leap-
year.
Last year.
Yeah. So they're fairly clean. They're just not quite.
They're still pungent, though.
Yeah.
They're still using the excuse, what's your problem? I bathed last year.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's August.
so close.
Yeah. And
Correct.
What's Scritch's last name again?
Cat Star.
That's right.
Scritches. Cat Star. Tell me about the black bear who is like Iggy Pop. What is his name?
Jim.
Jim. And pronouns?
He, him.
And the grossest thing about him?
It's a tough one.
Is it tough because a lot of things are gross?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pick, it's like there's just like so many options.
Sure.
That his grossest trait is he licks the sides of the dumpsters.
Oh.
And his breath is just it's like it could be used as like a breath weapon. Like it is like Green Dragon style.
Poison breath.
It is like poison or toxin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is tough because when he's in one of those situations where he's just not done talking and to say goodbye.
And is he like a close talker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Good.
What a good thing to know about Jim. Deidre, tell me about your crow.
What's great is birds in general don't have a very strong sense of smell or taste.
Great.
So the crow is not going to get as much of a face full of Jim's breath as one might think. The crow is an American crow named Evelyn Von Maple, but everybody calls her Miss Evie out of respect because she's a sweet old lady and you want to show respect to her. And her grossest trait, I'm kind of mixing things here. If you've ever seen a photo of a pigeon with a piece of bread stuck around its neck, like a necklace, she has that, like a Jacobean ruff. A big, like, thick cut piece of white bread around her neck, but it's gone moldy. Yeah. So it's like 2 weeks old at least, and it's like blue and green and gray in places, and it smells kind of like gym socks.
Or Jim's breath.
Or Jim's breath. But the great part is Miss Evie doesn't notice. She just thinks the colors are pretty. Like, she can't smell it. She's a bird. So she just thinks this is great. It's not a snack anymore. Now it's just an accessory.
Just accessory. And is Miss Evie a she, her?
Yes, she, her.
Great. Okay, so you have introduced your characters. And now I would like everyone else to share why each character's grossest trait is your favorite thing about the animal. I would like us to focus first on Scritch's cat star, the lovable armadillo of obligation, who only bathes on leap years. So why is that your favorite thing about him, Deidre?
I've got a good one.
Yeah.
So crows are opportunistic eaters. So because Scritches does not bathe all that often, sometimes there are small insects crawling around on them, and Miss Evie is more than happy to just be like in the middle of a conversation, and she's like, "Oh, right, took care of that for you, got it," and just eats it.
Yum.
So friend and buffet at the same time.
Symbiotic. What does Jim think about his bathing? Their bathing.
I think that Jim admires Scritch's resolve and commitment to whatever is going on there.
Yeah.
And just when Scritches says that they are going to do something, they do it and they stick to it.
Yeah. Shows a certain amount of loyalty as well.
Yeah. Backbone, grit.
Mm-hmm.
Moxie.
Jim admires them for that.
And what does Jerome think? Why is it his favorite?
Well, I think that Jerome hangs out Scritches, in part because of their delightful personality, but also because Jerome, as a dumpster diver himself, often smells quite bad. And so hanging out with Scritches and their sort of like aura of funk makes him, feel like maybe not the stinkiest squirrel in the world.
Yeah. Aura of Funk, also an excellent band name.
True.
We're just creating a bunch of bands that are playing over at the Pie in the Sky. That's what's going on.
Open mic night is just a happening place.
It's
what can I say?
lit. Okie dokie. Let us scoot on over to Miss Evie. And Scritches, why is her weird, moldy, disgusting white bread rough your favorite thing about her? And you are still muted. Just tossing it up.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for the moldy bread one.
I just hope I have created something so cursed it's hard to love.
Never.
So Scritch's favorite thing about the moldy bread is since armadillo's eyesight is very bad, they rely on touch and smell a lot. So I'm going to say that by touching the bread, Scritches can always tell which crow they're talking to, no matter.
Perfect identifier.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
and
yeah,
probably from the smell as well.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna use smell for Jim, but
sure.
But but being able to feel the bread lets Scritches know that like some of the bugs are gonna get eaten off because Evie and them have like a great relationship going like that.
Perfect. Jerome, tell us about this bread.
Jerome likes hanging out with Miss Evie because eventually, like every once in a while, Miss Evie finds a different piece of bread to make her rough. And when she discards the old one, Jerome gets to help dispose of the old rough.
We're all so helpful with each other. I love it.
Upcycling fashion.
Upcycle. Yeah. And Jim.
Jim is a kind of a social creature, and as a bear, sometimes it can be hard to make friends, and he sometimes has a hard time getting a hold of people. Sometimes, like literally physically, it's hard to, he wants to grab you, but he can't. People run away from him all the time. But the thing about Miss Evie is that you always know if Miss Evie is around, and I think that Miss Evie with that, because that moldy bread, it's always like throwing off crumbs and stuff, and I think maybe like Jim appreciates because he's noticed that Miss Evie has come around to like say hi to Jim every once in a while, and he thinks that that's pretty great, and he always knows where he can find Miss Evie because he can just follow the breadcrumbs.
It's like Hansel and Gretel, but a crow and a bear.
I mean, which
I think was in the original translation of it.
Well, I was going to say a modern fairy tale.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of Jim, let's talk about his breath, shall we? What do you think, Jerome? Why is that your favorite part of him?
Well, I was actually going to focus on what gives him the bad breath, which is his dumpster licking.
Yeah.
And Jerome likes to pretend sometimes, as because he has attained celebrity status, that he has a food taster for himself. So he lets Jim. Well, he doesn't let Jim, but he likes to pretend that he lets Jim lick the dumpsters to test out whether things are safe to eat.
Oh yeah,
in the
so
dumpster.
nice. Jim
Yeah.
is providing a valuable service for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure you don't want to have a go at this one before I start licking it?
Oh no, you go first, and then let me know if it's any good.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that.
Okay. What about you, Miss Evie?
So I think this is the challenging thing. Miss Evie can't smell very much. So probably what she notices is that Jim's bad breath may make him a little bit of a loner. And so Miss Evie finds this sort of solitary quiet very calming, and so likes to sit and chill with and near Jim and just sort of quietly coexist in the same space. Just enjoy each other's company, occasionally point out something interesting to look at, or maybe go wander to a dumpster together. But it's just nice to have a buddy who you can just be in the same space with. Mm-hmm. And like, if you're not talking, that's fine. It's a comfortable silence.
Yeah. Little parallel play action where you can just go do whatever you want to do. All right. What about Scritches?
So again, having poor eyesight and poor hearing, Scritches gets lost a lot. But since Jim's breath is so bad to other animals, even though even though Scritches can smell very well, they can always find Jim, and they always know when Jim is talking to them because the smell gets worse. So it kind of comforts Scritches a little bit because they know that they're not lost.
These are such lovely affirmations for everyone. Very much enjoying it. And we can't leave Jerome out with his strange discarded gum on the end of his tail. Let's hear from Jim first about that tail.
Jerome is much more fashionable than Jim is. And Jim just thinks that Jerome is like the cutting edge. Like, it's just so cool. Doesn't have the self-esteem to really put gum on his own butt. But
sure,
he's just not there yet. It's just he can't go out on that limb. But Jerome, how cool. So cool.
Gonna start a trend for sure. Yeah. You have to be very confident in yourself to do it. I think we're gonna get Jim there. I think over the course of this mystery. I believe in you,
Jim.
What do you think? What about you, Miss Evie?
So Miss Evie, I think, sees in Jerome a kindred spirit as far as using food as fashion. She can see the bright colors of the gum sort of as they move, as Jerome, moves his tail around to work on his balance a little bit as he jumps from limb to limb, place to place. And she just sort of sees in that somebody who understands me. We both like the fit, the kids, as they call it, the fit.
Yeah, I believe that you probably do fit checks quite a bit between the two of you.
Oh yeah, any reflective surface.
Yeah. And I think that all we need to hear from then is Scritches about.
Yes.
About our dear friend Jerome Robbins.
Yes. So for Jerome's gum tail, a lot of people give Scritches a lot of stuff for not showering very often.
Sure.
And Scritches is always comforted by Jerome's gum tail because Jerome is a celebrity and is sticking old used gum to their tail, and people love Jerome. So Scritches just thinks, you know what? If Jerome can do that, someday people will love me for, even though I don't bathe very often.
What an inspiration Jerome is.
Oh my gosh, that's so wholesome.
So wholesome and gross. Ta-da! Which I believe is the theme of this game. Wholesome and gross. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is identify the mystery that needs solving. So I am wondering, as a group here, are we going after a missing person, a missing object, or an existential threat? What speaks to you in your deepest psychic trash detective hearts?
I will say, if we could, because we've done a lot of someone is missing, be one of the other ones.
Okay. So either something has been taken or something smells wrong in an existential way. Yes, Deidre.
The first one I would like to pitch is an existential threat, which is a movement among some of the humans in the town, I guess the NIMBYs, to clean up the town.
Oh, no.
To modernize it.
We don't want that.
To make everything new and neat and clean.
Yeah? How do we feel about that?
I don't know if it's a mystery, but it's like a jumping off point.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Because we have a rundown town, as we have joked many times. We have a town that could use a little sprucing.
Yeah.
Or could it?
That's where I had almost the same idea, but the opposite direction. Like everyone was moving out all of the sudden.
Oh, like an exodus.
Because maybe the town might be getting destroyed or like bulldozed over to build something else up.
Like bought out to build a highway or something. Oh no.
It's both, right? It's both. What's happened is because this town is such a dump, everyone's been leaving. And so all of the people who are like very committed to like staying there are like, we're going to clean up this town and we're going to make it a place where people want to be. And then there are, I don't know, there's like probably some like greedy corporate developer in like a suit or something with a cigar and we're going to bulldoze the whole thing. What do you guys?
Can we, so like to make it kind of a mystery that we can solve, like, is there like someone who is like, are there like people in suits that have started coming in as others are moving out, or?
So I actually thought of this, and it kind of fits both of those sides, is just there's less and less trash to dig through. Ooh. Which is making less food.
Where's the trash going?
Yeah.
Where is the trash going?
Trash going. Okay, I love that.
And so because this is something smells wrong, existential, the title is Where There's Blank, There's Blank. And we can use some trash. Select the prompted words by finding inspiration in the trash in front of you. You can use words written on the trash, words literally describing the trash, or more abstract words suggested by the trash. So where there's blank, there's blank.
Where
Chunky?
Where there's chunks, there's something.
Where there's chunks, there's dinner.
What's in your trash? Does any of your trash have words on it, Deidre?
Well, there's crunchy. Oh, my blur is on. Where there's chunks, there's crunchy.
Mm-hmm. I have a piece of trash here, even though I'm not creating a character, that is a Baby Bell cheese, so it says baby on it. Where there's chunks, there's babies. Anything from Dustin or Cody in your trash?
This old sour cream wrapper that says Daisy.
Daisy.
That's a good one. I'm going to suggest construction. I have this old tube of like maximum strength hair gel.
Oh.
Construction paste. It's a weird name for like hair gel, right?
It is.
So construction.
So where there's construction, there's chunks.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I also have these like this old pack of Valentine's cards that has the word impact on it.
Oh,
Ooh.
I think it's where there's blank, there's impact.
yeah. Is it chunks? Is it crunch? Is it construction?
I mean, the only other thing I have is very small font on the back. It says, I can't read it. It says snacks.
Where there's snacks, there's impacts.
Yes.
Yep.
Where there's snacks,
There's
there's impacts.
a nice slant rhyme for us.
So now we get to each player popcorn one additional detail about the mystery. So let's just, I think we maybe did this part a little earlier. Be sure to identify who or what is missing or wrong and who doesn't care. Consider what you know of your characters, their relationships, and the world you have built together. Is there a particular animal community or specific animal or human who may be responsible?
So can I blame an HOA for like everything?
I mean, I would just in general, I feel like we can blame an HOA.
I feel like it should be the HOA or like the president of the HOA. That covers a lot of the neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we got the person of interest is the president of the HOA. And it's are people with suits coming in?
Yeah, it's like a bunch of guys in like short sleeve button-ups, ties, and like hard hats for like no reason because it's not yet a construction site.
And the trash is there's less trash to dig.
Yeah, yeah. There's they're like bringing in like I don't know community service folks to like clean up the area before they do something.
All right. Do we have anything else to add, Cody or Dustin?
The idea of somebody not caring makes me think like smaller free animals or smaller trash animals don't see a problem because they eat less. Like they need less, so they're not really noticing the shortage. So maybe like the bigger ones are trying to be like, "Hey, there's a problem, something fishy," and they're just like, "Nah."
And the mice, the roaches are like, whatever.
I'm still feeling fine.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin.
The fish. The fish don't care.
Fish don't care.
They don't care at all. They don't give a damn about us.
A damn. That's funny.
Yeah, suspicious, those fish.
They probably are maybe happy that there's less trash, as a matter of fact.
I mean, yeah, probably, yeah.
If there's a little lake or river that is getting cleaned up of trash, the fish are thrilled, but the trash animals are like, oh no, our buffet.
Yeah, what have you done? All right. So now you get to share, each of you will be sharing your character's starting theory. You can use this time to find your voice and explore the connections and conflicts between your character and the others in your crew. What do you sound like? I would love to know. I feel like we got a tiny bit of Jim. Let's hear from Jim what he thinks.
Well, yeah, it's a real head scratcher, this one. I would say, my money's still on the fish. And they've just never really, it's just never really sat right with me. Some of the things that they said in those weird bubbly voices. And, I thought I heard them saying some real mean stuff before. That's what I think right there is really just the fish. And the thing about fish that you got to watch out for, though, they're so slippery, and you try and grab them with your paws and they just slip right out. And they're just, their brains are slippery too. So they're very crafty. They're, more than you'd think. And I think somebody at this point really should.
Hey, man. Thanks, dude. You've been talking about fish for like 18 minutes. Let's I love the idea that like there's a big conspiracy theory that the fish are out to get you.
I think he's dead wrong about this too.
Shit. But he's determined.
But
the fish have nothing to do with this.
No, probably not. We'll see. What about Miss Evie? What does she think?
When I was a nestling, the kids did this thing called Earth Day, where they would take sticks with pointy ends and go stab at the little trash in the park and put it in bags, and they felt very good about themselves, and their teachers gave them a pat on the head, but it fell out of fashion after a while, but perhaps the children have gotten it back in their heads again, and that they need to collect the trash.
Okay, so two working theories are the fish are behind it or the children are behind it. Okay. What does Jerome Robbins think?
I saw Gustavo talking to a bunch of these guys in the hard hats, and I think that he has something to do with it, and he's how he's always been so mean to us and just shooing us off all the time and not letting us just getting his delicious trash. I mean, pizza crusts are made for squirrels. I don't know what his problem is. So I think that he's working with these guys. I think he's working with these guys to just drive everybody out of here.
All right.
And
well, Scritches.
About the fish earlier. That sounds better, actually.
I know I said fish, but
yeah, I was pretty committed to the fish thing, but really that's just because I got a problem with Dave. He's a trout, and he and I just don't see eye to eye. Anyway,
can't trust the trout, really. Slippery bunch.
Yeah,
Scritches.
I've only ever seen this kind of thing once in my life. Men in suits, they come around, they steal your brother, and they turn him into a mascot for some kind of stuffed animal toy line. So what I'm saying is they're taking the trash to weaken us, so that way they can catch us faster and make us their own little mascots.
Right. I have to tell you, I definitely did not expect that one. I don't know what I was expecting Scritches to say, but it wasn't, they're going to turn us all into mascots.
It was all I could think of.
Like taxidermy or college basketball mascots?
Like college basketball mascots.
Oh,
sure.
That's worse somehow.
Yeah. They just keep you in these little cages in the locker rooms.
Does Scritches know that mascots are not real animals?
No idea.
All right. Wow. Well, all right.
They mutate your body, they make your head
make it
big,
real extra big.
Make you walk on two legs and perform like a...
Make you wear a shirt.
With numbers on it.
All those dance routines.
But they force you to bathe too.
I bet. Well, I don't know about that. I bet the inside of those mascot suits get pretty rank. You actually might love it in there.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try. All right, so the next thing that we would do is to touch trash and have visions. But I have to tell you, friends, that I have been keeping an eye on the time. And And we are nearing the end of our 2 hours. And so I think that I would love to set aside the time to talk about the Kickstarter and the game just for a little bit, because it is active right now and we want people to give you all of their money. I would like you, this is the time where you get to go, this is why you should give me all of the money that you have left in your bank account. Tell me what inspired this game.
Well, I think I'm probably ideally situated to talk about this. My wife, Brigitte Winter, is the creative genius behind this one. And we were talking one day about maybe like, oh, we wanted to like write some games, and we wanted to write games around a central theme, like with a prompt.
Okay.
Prompt would be like and then I said, why not trash? And she just was like, trash detectives. They're trash detectives.
Yeah. The logical leap. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Obvious next step.
And then we tossed that idea around a bunch, and then one day, I think we were probably like just walking around like on a hike or something like that, and it was probably just very random where she turned and said to me, "What if they're psychic?" And that was that.
That's wonderful. Also, the idea that it was in the middle of a different conversation and had nothing to do with what was going on, out of context. What if they were psychic?
What if they were psychic? Yeah.
I love that.
And from there, it was just a matter of, kind of hashing out what this game was going to look like. And one of the things that we really want to do as Scryptid, like we have the cryptid part of our name, like, weirdos who live in the farthest. And but then the other side of that is like scripted, like written out, right?
Yeah.
And so we had decided, because we were a gaming workshop and a writing workshop, we were all people who love stories. We love games, we love stories, we love books. Like, we like really well made stuff. We liked having a physical copy of things in our hands.
Mm-hmm.
And so we said, we want to do that. We want to make games that capture people's love of stories and games and books. So that's like our tagline is games for people who love books.
Storytelling for people who love it.
Yeah. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite bit of this game? I'm going to hop over to Tiffany. Do you have a favorite bit of this game? Like either a mechanic bit or something that like you really connect with strongly?
Well, so we'll get into it next time, but I really love some of the prompts for having psychic visions, because there are these little mini exercises that you can go through, and like exquisite corpse style, where it's like one person says a word and the next person says it, and you kind of like build something collaboratively, but like serially. Collages. There's a playlist option where you pick a random, you build a playlist collectively, and then you pick a random song from it and listen to it and see what you can figure out, what the clue is there. Cool. So we'll get into some of those next week or next time. But I think that the mechanics are just much different. Like those kinds of prompts are much different than anything else I've ever seen in a role-playing game. So it's a lot of fun.
Cool. So I have two friends on here who didn't work on the game, but are getting to play test it. Deidre and Cody, like in this character creation and world build, what stuck out to you?
I mean, I love the collaborative nature of what we've done so far. Like, I love fiction first gaming. I'm still experimenting with this idea of like GM-less and dice-less gaming, but I love the idea that you can come together and like by brainstorming together, create this sort of ephemeral experience that will never happen again, ever, anywhere else. But you have these few hours together where you build a little picture and run around in it. I love that.
Cool. What about you, Cody?
Yeah, I also love the collaborative world building and everything. Like, I've done other like popcorn world building games, but this is the first one I've played that was a little more open. Like, if we wanted to be on a spaceship, it could have been a spaceship. We just decided it was a town.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like I feel like I would have picked a different animal if we were on a spaceship, maybe, or
Maybe we would have stuck with the armadillo of obligation. We don't know.
I probably would have, because they would have been the last armadillo.
The last armadillo of obligation. I feel like we need to make Scritches like merch. Scritches, the armadillo of obligation. Like, I can see him on t-shirts, and I can see them on stickers for sure. I feel like there's a video game in there where you just trundle around and do weird stuff. I'm anybody.
100%,
yeah, everybody
100%
call
on board.
us. We're ready here.
Yeah.
This team.
The Idea Factory is ready.
Oh, and he like rolls up they roll up into a little ball, and they roll down the hill, and they roll into things because we're all in Hillsville.
Can they knock over a pizza bicyclist?
Oh,
It's
so many
bowling.
points. So many
It's
points.
Yeah.
It's bowling.
And if you are going at the right time, you can be rolling at a perpendicular angle to the O from the donut shop, and you can go right through the center. Actually, so many, like, extra points, extra life, I think, if you go through.
Or if you can get inside the donut and roll inside the
Roll
donut,
with
then
it.
you just have
Extra roll.
a perpetual roll.
Oh my gosh.
Like a little exercise wheel, but it's the giant Katamari donut.
Then you're just destroying the town with the donut.
It feels like maybe we found our villain who's destroying the town is Scritches.
In cahoots with the Possum Posse.
Oh my gosh.
Like the dark Scritches, the one that like went down the wrong path in life. Like,
Down the
this
wrong
is what
path.
could have been.
That's
This
what
is the
really
multi-
happened.
That's what happened to
really
your brother.
Scritch's brother.
He's not a mascot. Oh no. Well,
Well, Scratches is on the list.
Scritches and
Scratch is
Scratches.
a suspect now.
His evil twin.
Does he wear a suit? A little armadillo suit?
Of course
Tiny
he-
armadillo
A
suit.
little tie?
Also got a little
And a hard
curly
hat.
mustache.
A little mustache?
An armadillo-sized hard hat because he's part of that gang.
Bless.
Gosh. Can we get action figures? I don't know, whoever does this, if you can just like get some art going, internet, and then some action figures.
Yeah, just email us at Scryptid. We'll work it out.
Totally ready. So because this is Kickstarter talk, and I know that we're all very worried about Scratches. I am. But like, what are some tiers that you want to push? What's some cool stuff that you can get from this Kickstarter?
Well, our different levels is belly button lint is the $1 if you just want to support us and do that sort of thing, just to show you care. The gum wrapper level is $5, and that's just a PDF. And then banana peel is a physical copy and a PDF of this game. Then the next level up for $40, I believe, is the takeout carton. And that is physical copy of this, PDF copy of this. And then we have PDFs of several other games. So each of us basically created a short RPG for launch. So you get an RPG from each of us as individuals, each of the 5 of us, as well as the PDF version of Ball of the Wild, which Nat Mesnard, our dear friend, created, which is an RPG where you play animals who dress in drag as other animals and then perform a drag show.
Yeah, there is an old archival Sarah's Table episode when Ball of the Wild was in its infancy, where we played it. I played a pangolin who was dressing up as a fox.
Excellent.
But I have to tell you that nothing could beat Nat played Miss Honey, who was a bumblebee, a honeybee dressed as a bear, but the size of a bee because it was a bee.
I haven't gotten to play it yet, actually. I helped with the layout of it, but I haven't actually gotten to play test it. But my idea is I want to be a ferret who dresses up as a llama.
Yes.
The proportions are completely opposite, but
yeah.
Aspirational, you know?
Oh, I love that. It was such a great game. It's so fun. Everybody go back at that level because then you can also get Ball of the Wild. And that's like, if I'm doing my math correctly, that's 7 games that you're getting for $40.
Yep. It's so good.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Go do it right now.
And then we have dumpster deal. I mean, there's the retailer tier,
Sure.
which sanitation engineer, where you can just get 5 physical copies of the book. And then we jump up to our Dumpster Delight, where you get all of the things that we've already mentioned. And then we put basically like a package together for you of other things. So I don't want to spoil it, but we have some very good ideas of like basically kind of like a trash themed gift basket.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then Dumpster Deluxe is all of those. And then one of us will run a game of it for you. And
Awesome.
I think we have one of those left.
Wow.
So,
that's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, man. Well, I mean, I'm going to go back it right now. I'm going to go back it. Look over in the chat and it's going to be up right now for you to be able to go click on it and go do that. Kat, do you want to say anything else about the game before we remind everyone where we can be found?
I mean, I've played it several times now, and it is always fun and so different. And like, even playing it with some of this like same people, like it's still wildly different. And there are just so many prompts that you won't be able to get to all of them in one playthrough. So
right.
There's really a lot. And also because we have met some of our stretch goals, we're going to have even more art. We're going to have some short fiction pieces as part of it as well. So we're really excited about it.
Cool. Do you have another stretch goal that you're like, what's the next one to unlock?
Next one, when we hit 5,000, Dustin, do you remember what it is?
I got it pulled up here. We've got at 5,000, we've got stretch goal 4, luxurious litter. We will make psychic trash animals an even bigger book, adding to the brilliant work of Brigitte Winter and A.V. Erie, who is our amazing illustrator. We're going to source fiction art and some example stories from a Scryptid Games extended universe. And so really kind of deluxing the book.
Cool.
And also I wanted to ask if you want a cameo from the creator, from the writer, she is here.
Yeah, please bring her in. Brigitte.
Hello. Wow. Hi. I love that. I'm like in the kitchen making dinner in my pajamas. And here I am now on this show. Hello, everyone.
Well,
peer pressure is a wonderful tool.
We did it. So I have a quick question for you. It's something that I always ask the writer creators when they come on is when you were creating this game, what was your favorite part?
Oh my gosh, of creating the game. I think that like my favorite moment in the game is when everybody has to say why the character's grossest trait is their favorite thing about them.
Mhm.
And so like that breakthrough moment was so delightful. And so the sort of flavor that is in the text right now, the example story, is a story that came to me playing alone. Like basically, I played the game alone. So I like went through the game, went through each step without a story in mind, and was like inspired each step of the way to like psychically create this world and like play these games by myself. And I think it says something that I was just like laughing the entire time as I am building this story playing alone. But I think that like the breakthrough moment for me was the say why that gross trait is your favorite thing.
It's super fun. I love that because that's not a thing that we focus on very often when we're creating. Like we give characters flaws. That's pretty common, right? To have a character like take a flaw, but then we don't ever talk about why that flaw makes them special and great. We just sort of are like, oh, sure, they've got this flaw. So mechanically it might do a thing, but it doesn't build relationships the way that you have incorporated in this. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And this is like at its heart intended to be a game that is about found family and like radical self-acceptance and like living your best gross life. And so it was very fun finding like places in the game where the players have to do that, right? They have to interact with trash. They have to be gross. They have to eventually, you'll see, solve problems by using their grossest trait.
Try to solve the problem.
Try to solve the problem. Okay, good luck, everyone.
Cool. Cody, Deidre, do either of you have a question for Brigitte as you are delving into this game for the first time?
I guess my question is, if you could pick one prompt for a location in the town, what is your favorite prompt for a town location?
Cool.
Gosh, my favorite prompt for a town location. I don't know that I can actually pick one. Because they're intended to be so abstract and open. And so like what I can think of, it's like I can't even think of what's in the book. What I can think of are all of these examples of really cool places that people have come up with based on the exact same prompt. I mean, I think I do love there's one I think where it's 24 hours a day humans are there. Mm-hmm. And so seeing the creativity of like people have come up with a hospital, people came up with a 24-hour arcade, a school that is a boarding school where people sleep overnight, like thinking about why, or there was like a park where the teenagers hang out all night long. Sort of seeing all of the many different directions that something that open can take everybody to like create this sandbox for these animals to play in is very fun.
Cool. You don't have to, but Cody, do you have anything?
I don't know, because I feel like we've talked about this so much.
Sure. Yeah.
But what gave you the idea for pitting the 4 classes of animals, like not completely against each other, but like just making these like, those animals definitely don't like those animals.
There's some factions happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was just the fun of the world building for the game, right? It's like, okay, these are trash animals and they exist alongside human beings. What makes a trash animal a trash animal? Why is this trash magic? Are only trash animals able to perceive the magic of this trash and access it psychically? Or can all animals do it? Wait, if all animals can do it, why are trash animals leaning into it, right? I think it's asking those questions and then answering them and seeing sort of what the fun answers that inherently create conflict and would be, fun for people to play within a world that is descriptive, not prescriptive, but like provides all of these options for the kinds of characters that people can make. I think that some of the most fun stories that I have experienced people create often involve animals from the other realms, right? Like animals that used to be cozy animals, like a cat who lived in a house, who then decided, screw this, I don't want to live in a house anymore. I want to be a trash animal. And why? Like, why did that cat leave? Or like escaped farm animals who become trash animals, or free animals who live in the woods and, used to want nothing to do with the trash, but then had some amazing psychic experience. And now they like need to be a trash animal. I think it's just so fun.
Have you ever had a escaped zoo animal?
So no, I think the closest is one time there was a monkey, but the monkey had been a pet.
Oh, okay.
Monkey had been a pet in an apartment that I think was like part of a lot of scams, right? Had been part of psychic scams, and like escaped eventually and decided to just live the monkey life on the street, throwing dice and doing tarot card readings. Was kind of amazing.
Yeah, because I would love to create a character that's like some sort of like very ostentatious animal that used to belong in a zoo and escaped and then like is now a trash animal, like a flamingo. Or
Look, it's not too late for you to be a flamingo, because the facilitator
thank you.
The facilitator can make a character and be part of the game. So if you want to be a flamingo this time, you
flamingo.
can.
Just hop in there. Or like something completely ridiculous, like a tiger who is now a trash animal.
We'll do like a mashup of this game and Ball of the Wild.
Oh, yes.
Go pretending to be a tiger.
Let's do it.
And go in tiger drag.
Which absolutely sort of ties back into this mascot theme that we have going on with tonight's episode. Just like, I don't know how that happened, but like maybe the flamingo just like wears a tiger mascot head. Time.
You guys, it's all linked. It's
all linked together.
Just the tiny skinny neck and the giant
head. Yeah. Like a bobblehead that walks around. Just
that would give Scritches almost too much validation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the best trailer for the next episode.
I told you that mutate you.
Oh my gosh. So good. We love it. Okay, so I'm going to go around the table and tell us where we can find you. Tell us where we can find the game. Plug anything else that you have coming up. I'm gonna start with Deidre. Where can we find you?
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Deidre Dykes. I talk about writing. I talk about gaming. All kinds of nonsense. So that's where I live.
We love nonsense. It's good. Cody, where can we find you?
I am occasionally I work in a lot of social, so I'm just not active on social. But you can find me on Twitter sometimes at Cody Bonbon, BONBON.
Okay. Tiffany, where can we find you?
I, other than scriptedgames.com, which is our website, personally, I have an itch account at Tifa's Letterbox, TIFAS Letterbox, Instagram at Tifa's Picture Box, and on Twitter, don't find me because all I do is talk about K-pop. So I'm not gonna blast that one out there.
But that sounds fun. So
it's okay. I'll give you Scryptid Games. We are on Twitter at Scryptid Games. We're on Instagram at Scryptid Games.
Okay. I mean, I personally am going to find you for all of the K-pop news, but we will.
I'm not terribly active. I just use it to like keep in the K-pop loop.
I'm with you. I understand. All right. Dustin and Brigitte, the two-headed monster here on the double-headed trash animal. Tell me where we can find you and this game.
You can find the game on Kickstarter, obviously. You can find us at scriptedgames.com, Scryptid Games on Twitter. You can find me on most social media at Never Say Dustin, including Itch. And I've got some work that I just put up there as part of this bundle that I'd love if people checked out. You should also check out, if you head over to the Kickstarter, you like what you see, our illustrator, her name is A.V. Erie, A.V.E.E.R.I.E. And you can find her on Instagram. Her work is absolutely amazing. You should check her out. But yeah, we'd really love to have your support on this Kickstarter. We really want to crush through some more stretch goals and make this as cool of a thing for y'all as we can.
It sounds super rad. I had a great time facilitating this evening, and I'm excited to see how this ragtag band of heroes, in quotes, is going to figure out this mystery, or if we're all just going to attack fish and mascots.
And Gustavo.
And Gustavo. Maybe Gustavo is just a mascot suit. Has anyone checked?
I mean,
Is this like a Ratatouille situation? Because it's getting uncomfortable.
You did say Gustavo was a big guy.
Big guy. This could be it. This could be, we might have cracked it. You'll have to come back next week to find out if we've cracked it. Yeah, go support these folks. We're going to do some more gameplay next week, so come right back here. I would like to thank everybody for gracing me with this just like ridiculous pile of joy that you have brought in. Thank you for letting me peek at the game before it is officially released. It is so much fun, and I cannot wait to play it with everyone at my table. Thank you to everybody watching at home. I would like to thank Gen Con for giving me this platform so that I can spotlight these smaller RPGs. It is so cool to be able to just dig my little hands into all of these different kinds of storytelling. It's always so cool to see. And they're always so different, and this one is no exception. I love the mechanics here, and I'm gonna do more. Everyone has to come back. Thank you to Nat Mesnard for bringing this game to my attention. Thank you for connecting us and getting us all in the Zoom call. And thank you to Peter Eckerson for giving me the freedom on the show to choose my own programming and to do whatever I want. I appreciate you. Thank you to my partner who is editing this so that everybody is looking in the right direction and that we can see everyone's beautiful smiling faces. Thank you to Marcus Mays, who is our tech over at Gen Con TV, making sure that we are running smoothly during the stream. And listen, there's probably 100 more people that I should be thanking. And if you feel that it should be you, I want you to just look into your heart and know that I absolutely am thanking you right now. I just am bad at remembering everyone's name. But also, I would like to remind you that you can find me at Pixies and Pins all over the internet. You can go to pixiesandpins.com. And next week, we are doing another episode of this. And then if you who are watching are a game designer, I am very interested in getting you on the show with your new game, even if it's in its infancy. Let's get it out in front of people and have them throw their money at you, just like making it rain all over the place. So yeah, get in touch. And as always, keep making art and keep being art. We will see you next time. Mwah.